So what we set out to do with Sensize is to create a system that was suitable for these sort of assets. So the ultimate low cost, long battery life, easy to install tracking system targeted at reusable containers. And what we've done that's different from other tracking systems out there is design everything from the ground up to use a different architecture. So instead of the traditional way of setting up a tracking system is to put a single type of tracker onto every asset. And we realized really early on that that wasn't going to work. And so we have a system that we call parent-child. And basically the idea here is that you fit very low cost trackers onto most assets. So either these are very low cost active Bluetooth trackers with a small battery. You can also put a Wiliot sticker onto them. And we then take advantage of the fact that these assets tend to move around in groups. By doing that, we can put a few sophisticated cellular trackers into the fleet, along with a large number of much cheaper Bluetooth and Wiliot trackers. And our system provides an environment that allows the parent trackers to connect with the low-cost child trackers, collect data from them, and then upload it all to the internet. So the result is that you get performance which is very similar to putting a cellular tracker onto every asset, but at a much lower cost. So maybe 90% reduction in cost, because the Bluetooth and Wiliot tags are much easier and easier to deploy. Okay, so essentially what it allows you to do is to track all of your assets, all of the packaging assets, and that enables a number of different features. So first of all, you can find and stop asset leakage. And the way we do that is basically by having a set of approved locations, and the system can then highlight assets that are outside of the approved location list. So we have an example here where we've got that. The user can then dig into the location history of the asset, and usually what they want to do is to find the last approved location before the asset went to a non-approved location. You know, if you send your assets to a particular customer, they're supposed to send them back or send them to another approved location. If they end up going somewhere they're not supposed to, then basically that's a trading issue or that can be addressed with the customer. So that's an effective way of stopping asset loss, which is usually the first thing that customers want to do. Okay, so the next thing is providing and apologies for the redacted slide, but the next thing is to provide an accurate live inventory of assets. So this is useful because basically to improve operational efficiency and reduce cycle time, it's good to know when assets are available to be collected. If a particular store has got 1,000 empty pallets or boxes in their warehouse, you want to be going to pick them up, and that can reduce cycle time. So the system enables that by allowing people to have a look at how many assets are in each location and how long they've been there. And we can also calculate cycle time between any 2 points. So that's useful for determining if a particular retailer or distribution center is better or worse than their peers. Okay, and then the final thing we can do, and Ohad touched a little on this, is use the tracker as a sensor platform. So one of the first things that people think of there is using the tracker to monitor temperature, and that definitely is useful, for things like berry shipments, for example, or chilled meats or ice cream. Knowing when and where temperature excursions happened is really useful. But there are other things you can do as well. We have a shock measuring capability in the system, and so that's useful because it will determine if something turns up and it's been broken. It will tell the user when and where that happened, so they can take appropriate action to fix that. And we also have techniques and sensors on the device that allow us to monitor the retail environment. So if an asset is being used as part of a promotional display in a supermarket, we can monitor customer footfall in front of that promotional display. So the marketing guys can know which displays are in good locations and getting good customer footfall. Okay, so to summarize, what's the effect of that? Well, we've seen in real customer deployments, once tracking goes on, it's common to reduce container and asset loss by about 90%. And there are a couple of things at play there. One is that it's, once you get tracking out there, it's very obvious where all of the assets are going, and so you can go out and fix that problem straight away. It's also, there's a placebo effect, I think, also, because if people who are handling the package know that it's being tracked, they tend to treat it a lot better. But the overall effect is stunning. We've also seen customers improve container utilization by about 20%. So the containers are empty for less of the time, they're working harder. And that means that you can reduce the number of containers required by about 15%, which reduces capital requirements for the business. So just in short, then, basically there's no reason why high quality containers can't last for at least as long as the beer crate. Now, the beer crate is well designed, but we should be in a position to get all of the other containers lasting that long. And key to doing that is tracking, because basically if an asset isn't tracked, it might as well be disposable at some point, because it will get lost in the complexity of the supply chain.